Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it is your first time here. My name is Erin, and today's video is an episode of #Friday Sews, where we get together to talk about what we're doing in the sewing room and a little bit about life and all that good stuff. I am freshly showered post-run. I am telling you that because I want to tell you that on my run I wore my Lulu set, as I call it. It is the Made for Mermaids Lulu sports bra on top and then the Jaylee Lulu skirt on bottom. Love running in that combo. I talked about it more in depth on my Wednesday video, which was all about the activewear that I've been sewing this summer. So if you have not seen that video, it will be linked down below and it's on my channel. So definitely go check that out. Even if you're not really interested in activewear, I still think you should go look at it because maybe it'll pique your interest a little bit. What I'm wearing today is a combo of the Tessuti Mandy Boatneck tee, which is free, and the Itch to Stitch Uvita, which is also a boat neck that is also free. So I made the Mandy for my t-shirt review video months ago, and I hated it. Really hated it. The only thing I liked about it was how the neck was done. So it has been in my to redo pile for a while, and I almost immediately downloaded the Uvita because a couple people in the comments told me about it, but I just hadn't printed it out and done it. So I finally got that printed. I did a big A0 order with tape-free patterns. So I got that printed and mashed them up. So this is still from the Mandy, and then the length is still from the Mandy. The Uvita is a little longer, but everything here in the sleeves is the Uvita. Now, it is not as wide as the Mandy, which I like, because one of my problems with the Mandy was that it felt like I just had so much around my torso and it kind of hung weirdly off my back. It felt like a cape. And then the sleeves were super tight. So I could not reuse the sleeves at all because they were too, in my opinion, too small. But I had a ton of this fabric left and I cut new sleeves. I like it a lot better. I would like to try just the Uvita straight and maybe still do the neck in the way that the Mandy has you do it, because I do really like the technique they have you do. Currently it feels a little choky. If I just let it sit, that's where it falls. So I'm constantly kind of trying to pull it down. That's better. But then it kind of drapes weirdly. I don't know. I like it a lot better. I'm actually wearing it, which I never wore the Mandy in real life. I tried it on for that video, wore it for a little bit, and then was like, never again. So that's at least an improvement. I do like this a lot better. I'm gonna wear it for a while and then potentially play around with the neck a little more. I also don't love the drop sleeve, the drop shoulder. I would prefer a set-in sleeve, but now I'm just being very picky. They're free patterns. I don't know why I'm being so whiny about it, but that is what I'm wearing. And on the bottom, I just have some green ready-to-wear shorts because it's still hot here. People are talking about fall setting in, and I'm still absolutely baking. The fact that I'm wearing 3/4 length sleeves is kind of a bold move on my part, because I am going to be at the park later with my little girl. I'm not going to go through every single thing I sewed over the last couple of weeks because a lot of it is the same stuff I've made before. I've been making my toddler more pajamas and more little dresses and stuff. We are coming into spooky season, and my husband and I are going to be on a trip for the first 2 weeks of October, so I feel like I have to get all of her Halloween stuff ready now. Not her Halloween costume, but her Halloween season stuff, because we are very much a spooky season type of a family. So yeah, I have pajamas and stuff that I've made up for her. And then I did also make the Styla jersey jumpsuit. I really want it for when we travel as a layering piece, and I think it'll be good for travel days and days when we're in the car a lot and things like that. So I made it up from a old sheet I had. I think it was a queen size sheet, and just 100% cotton jersey, and I love it. Love it. I wore it yesterday all day and it was so comfortable, but I felt so put together. I did start the day without a shirt underneath it, and then I put a shirt underneath a t-shirt that I made when I made all these t-shirts. It's a simplicity pattern. I don't know, the shirt's fine. I talked about it in that video, but I yeah, did that. I put it underneath just to see if I liked the look, and I do like the layered look. So I wore that all day yesterday. It is in the wash. I will probably wear it again as soon as it comes out because I really like it. And then I do have some French terry on the way to make my travel version because I think that one will be a little too lightweight for the weather, but we'll see. The only adjustment I want to make, I think, is adding just a little bit of length to the bodice. It is drafted for, I think, 5'5", and I'm about 5'7". I was worried the rise would not be good. I thought I would have to add to the rise somehow, but after wearing it all day yesterday, I didn't notice any issues with the rise. Like, even if I reached up to grab something or down and everything, like, I did not feel like the rise was an issue. The pants are pretty wide legged, so I think that helps just add a little more space in there, a little more ease. But yeah, the rise was good. I think I want to add a little bit to the bodice just so I have a little more of that ballooning over the elastic waistband. But other than that, no adjustments. Even the length and everything is like perfect in my opinion for me. And yeah, one thing I really liked about it was how it had to do the waistband. Had you do the typical, like, you sew the bodice to the pants, you know, you sew the bodice together, you sew the pants together, you combine them, and then you use the seam allowance there to make the casing when you put them together. But this had me sew together both pieces at the raw edges first, so I serged all the way around, and then I sewed the seam to make the casing. Hopefully that makes sense. Thread. So this is where the raw edges are together. You insert, I don't remember which into which, probably the pants into the bodice, right sides together. And then I went along both of those layers together and serged. Then I sewed this seam. Then I pressed it up, top stitched along where I had serged them together, leaving an opening, put the elastic in, finished it, blah, blah, blah. So just, I think that looks so much better internally. I recently made my daughter a dress that had this same technique of putting the two pieces together. And I don't like how it looks on the inside. It's not the end of the world, she's a toddler, but I just don't like how it looks on the inside because it's not this neat. And it's so obvious, you guys, it's so obvious. But this is why I like using patterns from different companies that give you different techniques, because sometimes no matter how obvious it is, you haven't thought of it. So I just really like how that looks. But yeah, so I'll definitely be making another one of these before our trip. We leave in 2 weeks-ish. Speaking of, so most of what I'm going to be doing coming up is going to be just like putting my head down and getting things made for the trip, including Vogue 2051. The barrel leg pants, I'm so excited. I am gonna make up a toile of them. I'm gonna trace this out hopefully this weekend and make up a toile of at least like the top half just to see how that all fits. And then get these hopefully made up before the trip. There's a bag I wanna make, some other things. I've been doing a lot of cutting and planning, and I don't have too much, honestly. I think there are like 3 things I wanna make, one of them being that jersey, which is super easy. So I'm making sure I don't put too much pressure on myself. I do already have a lot of me-mades that I'm very happy with. I don't have a lot of ready-to-wear clothes that I'm very happy with, to be honest, but I have plenty of clothes that I'm happy with that I can take for this trip. I do want to make some leggings to run in because it's gonna be a little chillier where we're going. We're gonna be around different parts of Europe than it is here, and this summer the activewear I've made has been for very hot weather because I live in the south. So I do want like a couple pairs of leggings that I can run in while I'm there, because all of my leggings are gone. I like got rid of them all, it turns out. They all needed to go. Did not think ahead on that. Okay, the other thing that I need to not work on yet but have been thinking a lot about is Halloween costumes. So because we're gonna be gone the first 2 weeks of October, I wanna make sure I have the fabric and everything and maybe have things cut out before we leave. Probably just source the fabric. Our daughter wants to be Bluey or Bingo. She has not been very straightforward. I'm almost worried I'm gonna have to make both and then let her decide on Halloween, but that would be silly. But anyway, if you're not aware, Bluey is a cartoon from Australia, and it is like the thing right now for kids. It is the most adorable, wholesome show. It's the only show she watches. I have Simplicity 9624. The thing about the cartoon characters is they're dogs. Their bodies are like a body and kind of come in and then their legs stick out. So I want to recreate that, and I thought this elasticated bottom would be good. They are heelers, so I'm going to use the ears, I think, from the cat, but then make the face look like the cartoon face. And then Adam and I are going to be the parents, Bandit and Chili. So I downloaded the Do It Better Yourself / Copper Creek Patterns Billy wearable blanket, I think it's called. They also have a kids version. But I think I'm going to use this. Anyway, I downloaded that because it is a very oversized sweatshirt, basically. And I think I can add just elastic to the bottom of that to pull it in a little bit. And then we'll wear tights or something. I don't know. I haven't thought that far. I'm just focusing on the body for now and the heads. And then use similar pieces to make the face and the ears. And I guess the tail too. Anyway, I have started thinking about it. I have not gotten that far. But I think what I'm going to do is make them out of fleece because I want them to stand out a little bit. I'm a little worried fleece is going to be too hot, but we'll see. It's kind of the best option, I think, in terms of getting that body and then being able to, I'll probably use felt to applique some of the shapes and stuff on. So my question is, do any of you have a good, relatively inexpensive source for solid fleece colors that have a really, really wide range? Because I need very specific colors. I know I'm not going to get 100% match, but I want to get as close as possible. So I need a wide range of colors. I've done some Googling, and I think a website called like yourfleece.com popped up that I might go with, and another one that had an X in the name or something. But if you have ordered from anywhere that has a really, really wide range of fleece solids, please let me know where that was, and hopefully it was relatively inexpensive because I need a lot. I think the sweatshirts I'm making, the wearable blankets I'm making for Adam and I need like 4 yards each, and then this is gonna be a yard, just over a yard. So then the other thing I needed input on and advice on is sizing in clothes. Let me explain. So here's a little pair of shorts that I just made her for spooky season. What I normally do for her clothes, because I do put the size in her clothes. For my clothes, for my husband's, I don't care. But I save her clothes, most of her clothes, for a potential other child. So I put the size in them. What I usually do is cut out a little tag from the fabric, especially if it's a knit, from the fabric, and then handwrite the size with fabric marker. And I think it's fine, but I don't love it. It looks kind of bad on some of them. And what I would prefer to do is just stamp the size in the back so I don't have to put the extra tag in and stuff. So if any of you have a good recommendation for fabric friendly stamping ink, I would appreciate that. I've done some research and there's like 3 or 4 brands that pop up. It seems to vary a lot by what fabric you're putting it on, like what the composition is. So I'm having trouble committing to one because obviously I sew a lot of different things. Like, I guess, do I need to get 3 different types of ink and know like, well, this one's good for natural fibers and this one's good for polyester? I don't know. That seems like too much, but I do want the size to stay there for a while. And then I was just going to get stamps of like 2 and T and 3 and T and stuff like that. I'm not too worried about being personalized at all. So yes, if you have recommendations for fabric friendly ink for stamping that will go through the wash multiple times and stuff, that would be phenomenal. In terms of plans, I do have 2 collabs coming up, so I've been working on those. I have a couple more things to make for my daughter. I don't think I am consciously feeling guilty about the fact that we're leaving her for 2 weeks. Like, her grandparents are going to be here. She's going to have a great time. I don't think I consciously feel bad, but I also feel the need to make her a whole Halloween wardrobe. So maybe I do feel a little bad. It's fine. She's enjoying it. I also made her some other really cute pajamas that she's excited to wear tonight. So it's all good. I just apparently feel guilty internally, unconsciously. Plans. So other than that, I do really want to quilt my standing tall quilt. I just have not put in the effort to pull out my machine onto the dining room table and quilt it because I do need that surface area. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. And then collabs, I have a couple collabs coming up in the next 2 weeks. Those are my next 2 Wednesday videos. And I want to get started on these pants because I'm so excited about them. I asked Adam for his input on which pockets I should make. I might be fabric limited, but I asked his input and I was very clear that I was like, I'm super torn. I'm gonna base my decision off of the reaction I have to your choice. But when he looked at them, he was like, this is actually a very hard decision. He decided to go with the angled pants because he thought it made them look a little more modern, which I agree with. And the angled pants or the angled pockets are what drew me to this pattern in the first place. So hopefully I have enough fabric to make that happen, but we'll see. Life is mostly going to be getting ready for our trip. My in-laws will be here in 2 weeks and then we leave a couple days after that. So I have to make sure like the house is ready for them because I just want things to be as easy and smooth for them as possible while they're here, taking care of our girl and our Bubba. And then also just like getting us ready for the trip. I am going to do a video, I'm planning on doing a video about everything I pack and wear on my trip. So I probably won't be talking a lot about that stuff until I actually finish it and take it on the trip and wear it. So that'll be like mid-October when I come back to report on all of that. So my Friday sews will be probably pretty sporadic. I don't have a lot that I'm gonna be sharing, I don't think. So if my videos are a little spotty, at least my Friday sews, like it's just because I don't really have anything to share and I don't wanna clutter up your subscription feed for no reason. Guys, that does it for this episode of Friday Sews. Let me know what you are up to in your sewing room. Are you already thinking about Halloween or the holidays? I know some people have mentioned holiday stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, that is coming up soon. So let me know what is on your mind, what is in your plans, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for a fun collab. Bye.